Thank you for joining me for my first ever. I don't know if I'm going to make this an annual thing, but thank you for joining me for my Stream Awards, the year in review. No? What did... My co-host is here. Do you want to see Ollie?
Hello there.
You didn't tell me you were doing this. Stop it. Behave.
See, because I'm never talking into this one.
Not gonna lie, you're getting mogged hard fashion-wise here, I know. Oh, why is this homeless woman crashing the blast? Right, without any further ado, welcome to my 2025 Stream Awards. I mean, my name's on here, but I don't know whether or not it is mine now. I'm just gonna start off by saying thank you all for joining us in 2025. It has been absolutely lovely coming back to streaming. You've all been so kind, so supportive. I'm gonna split out the awards into varying categories, so it's not just all decided on by me. There is obviously going to be the section at the beginning where I'm going to go through some of my favorite moments of the year. So first of all, we've got the best short game. This category is basically based on the fact that we have played various lengths of games throughout the year, but there's been a lot of really short gems. For this one, I wanted to specifically focus on games that were under 4 hours in length. Obviously, there are some on this list that have more replay value than others and do have different endings that you can do if you go back and you take different routes. But I just wanted to limit this to games where you can go from the very starting new game, new file, to the any particular ending in 4 hours or less. The nominees for this category are Amanda the Adventurer, Bloodwash, Late Homework, No I'm Not a Human, and Parasocial from Chiller's Art. Had to get a Chiller's Art game in there. They are known for their short games, but Parasocial, I think, was my favorite of all the Chiller's Art games that we've played this year. The winner is No I'm Not a Human. So, No I'm Not a Human was an indie game that started out as just a small entry in the Violent Horror Games series. Sorry, Violent Horror Stories game. It's since expanded into several fully fleshed out demos, a full release, and even a massive free expansion since then that has added a whole bunch of new content. It's set in a world that is actively apocalyptic, with the sun growing too hot, making everywhere outside into an unlivable wasteland during the day. Humans are forced to stay indoors and sleep during the day and then try and seek refuge at night. All while strange skinwalker-like creatures crawl out of these crevices, these cracks that have appeared in the ground. It's got an incredible story, and it creates a very intense and unsettling world in the short time that it takes to get through it. So my first playthrough took me about 3 hours to get through. Of course, that's with a lot of talking from me, which is unsurprising. As soon as I finished that stream though, finished my first playthrough, I did go off and play this on my stream deck immediately, and I keep on dipping back into it ever since. It's a mix of visual novel and walking simulator, which doesn't really sound like it would appeal to too many people, but something about how they've combined this is just so unique, and I would genuinely recommend this game to absolutely anybody that likes anything even the slightest bit creepy. Next up, we have Best Game to Play with Friends. This category is for anything that I've played on stream with friends, and in particular the mods throughout the year. So the nominees are Repo, Corporation Liberty, Drunk Builder Simulator, and Eyes of Hellfire. For anybody that doesn't remember Drunk Builder Simulator, that was a bit of a wild one. It was one where you literally have to play as builders going around a construction site and drinking beer, and there's a manager that's trying to stop you from doing that, so that was hilarious. Eyes of Hellfire is a Blumhouse game. It's a really cool, like, tabletop survival horror game. Corporation Liberty we actually played just the other day, and everybody knows Repo. It doesn't need any introduction. I'm determining it based on the greatest combination of the most innovative gameplay and also the most fun that we had while actually playing it. And the winner for this category, there could be no other. It's Repo, of course. As much as I had fun playing all of these, Repo got absolutely tons of different outlandish cryptids and creatures that feature in it, and the fact that you can go around with each other and actually get each other killed just adds to the hilarity. You can play with either just 1 or 2 friends, or you can play with a bunch of friends, and there's just so much content to go through. And of course, it spawned the iconic clip from Love Row. had to win. The next category is game with the best replay value. What I mean by that is the best single-player story game that gives a different or better experience on a subsequent playthrough. So no anomaly games, because that is designed to just be replayed over and over. And also no multiplayer games, because it's the same with those as well. This needs to have a driven story that is expanded upon with each subsequent playthrough. It's either branching story options or new content available through New Game Plus, which all of these have. Obviously, Silent Hill F, we know how I feel about that. I don't need to talk much about that. No, I'm Not a Human. Kind of already touched on that one as well. Junji Ito Maniac and Infinite Jail, we played through that recently. That one also required you to play through the game at least twice to understand the true ending. And then Is This Game Trying to Kill Me? Again, after you complete the game once, you can actually go into a whole new section. And the game with the best replay value is 2. I couldn't pick. Genuinely couldn't pick on this one. So it goes to both Silent Hill F and No, I'm Not a Human for 2 reasons that I'm going to go into. So do not at me. For Silent Hill F, you have to replay this game to unlock more endings, more lore, more cutscenes. You have to play it at least 3 times to get the true ending. All of which I think is well worth it. And out of all the games that I've ever played, I think this has been the best implementation of New Game Plus that I've seen in any game. For No, I'm Not a Human, it has an almost infinite amount of combinations that you could get with each playthrough. It randomly populates each time. And they've also added a huge expansion since the last time that I've played it, particularly last time I played it on stream, with new characters, new achievements, and new endings. So replaying this doesn't even feel like you've completed the story because the encounters are random each time. Yes, I am distributing this to 2 different games. It's my award show, I don't care. Okay, next up. The game that I wish I'd played sooner. For this one, I did make it. The game had to be at least 3 years old, so Signalis just made it into this. Anything that didn't come out in 2025, but I really do not understand why I didn't pick them up sooner. So first of all, we've got Resident Evil 2. Obviously the remake of the original Resident Evil 2 that came out in, oh god, was it 1998? I don't remember. I absolutely love this. I think out of all the Resident Evil games that I played for the first time this year, I just really adored it, and I'm only just realizing now that I didn't play it on stream. Next up, we've got Fatal Frame. You on your phone?
I'm fact checking.
Oh, okay.
1998.
Okay, that's what I said. Cool. The second one that I've chosen is the first Fatal Frame, or Project Zero, or Zero, however you know it. And that's not just recency bias. That is, as soon as I started playing that game, I was like, wow, this has absolutely blown me away. So I genuinely cannot believe that I have not played this sooner, given the fact that it came out in 2001. Third of all, we've got Tormented Souls. That is, of course, the original one that I'm talking about. It pains me to say this, that I didn't play this one first, and I ended up playing it after Tormented Souls 2 came out, but I still ended up enjoying it so much. And then Signalis was just absolutely phenomenal. It was just incredible. So the game that I wish I'd played sooner is Fatal Frame. Yeah, thank you. So without question, it's Fatal Frame. It wins this one for me. Even though it's the oldest one, this has truly stood the test of time. It explores the theme of Japanese stigmatized properties and failed rituals very, very well. It really dives into more Asian folklore and Asian supernatural paranormal stories, and I really, really enjoyed the authenticity of what came through with that. The added fear as well that comes through from only having the camera obscura to defend yourself is just absolutely palpable. It creates an incredible atmosphere, and I absolutely adored each entry in this series, but the first game is phenomenal, and it's quickly become one of my favorite series of all time. Fatal Frame is really the game that I wish I had played sooner. Best art style. All of the games in this category have a very unique art style. Sleep Awake, Blumhouse's latest release, mixes photorealistic 3D environments with FMV using psychedelic transitions to blend the two in a way that looks absolutely effortless. There are various parts throughout the game where you're basically going from one level to the next, and it was masked so beautifully. Detention. This is Red Candle's completely 2D survival horror game set in 1960s Taiwan during the White Terror. The entire game makes it look like it's hand-drawn, like literally like it's made out of paper. It's mostly in black and white with the odd accent color here and there, which I think is really well done. The color palette does a fantastic job of conveying the bleakness of the era, and it adds to the story, while the paper-like style and animations fit well with the theme of it being in a school. No, I'm Not a Human, again, it's in yet another category. It's a cartoon-like game mixing both 2D and 3D. It's just really interesting, I think. And also the grotesque and grimy design of every character in the game really adds to the unease and your distrust of each character that you come across, and it makes that whole paranoia of, is this person a visitor or not? It really adds to it. And Signalis, another entry for Signalis. It is a beautiful pixel art survival horror game that mixes various perspectives throughout the whole game in a way that is really, really well done. But the winner for me for best art style is Signalis. It is a recent one, but again, there's absolutely no recency bias in this. That game is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Signalis wins Best Art Style for its absolutely stunning take on pixel art. They took the challenge of using pixel art as a base, something which requires a lot of precision to get right, and managed to implement features like dynamic lighting and make them look effortless. This is something that I've seen even fully 3D games struggle with, and I'm looking at you, Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, because why the hell do you hold a flashlight out in front of you and then you still see your shadow in front of you? That makes zero sense. But Signalis blends first and third person perspective, completely 2D cutscenes, and then what's made to look like 2.5D and 3D environments, when actually I just learned earlier on that they're all 3D environments, but because it's pixel art, it looks 2D, and it blends it all seamlessly. Obviously, I played without the optional CRT and grain filters as well, which that was for the sake of bitrate, but it could have played a huge part in disguising any inconsistencies, but there were absolutely none to speak of. The game over screen and menu were both uniquely thematic and extremely well done, and all in all, Signalis is absolutely beautiful, and for me, it just had to win Best Art Style. I have not seen something do what this game did in a very, very long time, and I was thoroughly impressed by it. And now time to get a bit less serious, because the next game is Best Silly Game. So, for Best Silly Game, these are the games that don't take themselves too seriously. They still count as horror games, but there's some gruesome themes in there rather than being outright comedy. But part of these games get utterly ridiculous as well. So the nominees for this category are The Lacerator, a survival horror game where you need to cut off your own limbs to get better loot while trying to evade a serial killer known as the Lacerator. You play as Max, introduced as a guy who loves sex, who wakes up in the Lacerator's dungeons after a wild night with a sex worker goes horribly wrong. Terrifier, the arcade game, is exactly what it says on the tin, a side-scrolling beat-em-up themed after the Terrifier movies, where you play as Art the Clown. Then we've got Disco Pup, where you play as a seal pup. This isn't overtly horror, but there are definitely horror themes in there. In particular, there's endings involved with you, like, skinning dog faces to be able to get into a dog-themed nightclub, which only allows dogs in. Disco Pup, I really think, just flew under the radar quite a bit, but it is really fun, really silly, and also quite creepy in parts. And then you've got Bloodwash, which is Black Eyed Priest's 80s slasher-inspired short game, and it follows a pregnant woman trying to avoid the womb ripper, all while trying to do her laundry. It's the first game that I played by Black Eyed Priest and has made me very interested in checking out his other work. But the winner is The Lacerator. We had to, yeah, there you go, Lacerator. Had to go to The Lacerator. This game is without a doubt the silliest thing that I've played in a long time and makes absolutely no effort to take itself seriously in true 80s slasher fashion. Max spends the entire game walking around in his underwear, swimming in sewers, and avoiding eating bananas. Yes, that's literally an entire mechanic. The gore is over the top. There are various points where the game is just outright trolls you. There are multiple endings, and the one that we got on stream was where Max and the Lacerator end up fighting on top of a speeding truck, and then they both die anyway. I'd originally planned to play this for just an hour or two as part of a dev game review stream, but once I started, I genuinely couldn't put this down until I finished it because it just was too funny to me. This is the best Anomaly game. It goes without saying that there were a lot of Anomaly horror games released in 2025, and it's been one of my favorite niches for the past year as well. For this category, I've chosen some of the games that have either developed or perfected a unique take on the genre, so rather than just having to loop through and whatever, they've really refined it and done something that makes them stand out amongst others in the genre. So the first one is Who's at the Door, where it's got its own running story going in through there as well. You have to explore what's happened to several different characters, and there's a bunch of different things that you can do to deal with anomalies. Some of them you will either have to avoid looking at, some of them you have to keep looking at, some of them you have to hide away in the door that you start in. There are various points where you can actually leave the loop but then have to come back as well, and the ending really... It was a little bit predictable, but I thought it was really, really good. It was a very good twist. The 10 Bells is set in a British pub, which has a murder mystery aspect to it, and then some. Really, really enjoyed the 10 Bells. There's also Paragnosia, which takes place in an apartment where you're being pursued by supernatural entities. For the gameplay, you have to take control of a camera that you've set up on a rail system throughout the apartment, and in order to complete the game in full, you have to find all 100 anomalies, which is by far the most I've seen in any one particular game. Then we've got the Cabin Factory. You work as an inspector in a literal factory that makes cabins. It's your job to get up close and personal and note down anything that you see out of place. And the threat in this game is very real and sees a story unfold about your character and their relation to the mannequins appearing throughout. And then, of course, rounding off the category is Observation Duty 8. Observation Duty 8 is the latest of the Observation Duty games. This is the one that really helped put Anomaly games on the map as a whole, and they've only expanded on it again with even more mechanics and some of the freakiest intruders that we've seen yet. I've even got shot by one, and there was another one with an old woman that was like milking herself in a barn. It was bizarre. Yeah, I'm not showing you that one. But yeah, the winner for Best Anomaly Game for 2025 for me was the 10 Bells.
Pup.
Where the spoons? Where the spoons?
Culture one.
10 Bells deserves its flowers on this one. It's made by a British solo developer. The game features a well-developed and tragic storyline which ties in very nicely with the different anomalies throughout, so all of the anomalies have some sort of hint as to what the story holds. It's set in a very authentic British pub with so much to look at and remember. Like, if anybody's not been in a British pub, like, there's so much going on. There's an awful lot to look at very typically, and same in this game. There was so much to remember. The anomalies vary drastically, with some being incredibly obvious and then others that really require you to pay very close attention. Nightmare mode also leads to a completely different result, where you can go and explore the staff room at the back, which is usually locked for the entire rest of the game, on the condition that you find every single anomaly in a row, which is over 40 anomalies. Next up we have Technical Marvel. These were all games that play in a way that are quite unique. They took something and they've really, rather than it just being a standard game, go through, do task, be the hero, they've done something a little bit different. For this we have Eclipsium, which is a super surreal game mixing real imagery with pixel art. In one section you have to navigate a palace through a kaleidoscope-like camera, and in another you have to try and make your way around a room almost completely blind while maintaining unbroken eye contact with a giant character. For Amanda the Adventurer 3, it wraps up the trilogy that we've loved dearly this year. In this, you have to pair your interactions in the world around us with those that are on a VHS tape. So you're using clues that you get from the VHS tapes to find things around the room, and then when you interact with those, it will change what's on the VHS. Isla. These are several games all within one game. So Isla is an AI avatar that tailors several unique horror games based off of your conversations with her, and has a karma system that can help to determine which of the 4 available endings that you get. It was really, really well done. Very interesting. I very much enjoyed Isla. And then we have Luto. Marketed as being inspired by PT, this one clearly piqued my interest, but upon playing it, I found that it was actually very similar to another incredible survival horror game from the GameCube called Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem. Nope, it's downstairs. This game utilizes fourth wall breaks to play with you, the player's mind, rather than just the mind of your character. And then we have Is This Game Trying to Kill Me? Another game within a game where you have to navigate between two different worlds to progress. This time, you're stuck in a log cabin with a computer game, but you can't progress in the computer game without interacting with different things around the cabin, and vice versa, all while trying to evade a wizard, which is stalking you from afar. I really, really enjoyed this. I actually just went back and platinumed it the other day. It's great fun. It's really, really great fun. If you like games like Inscription, you'd love Is This Game Trying to Kill Me? The winner of Technical Marvel is Luto. I absolutely love it when a game messes with you, the player, rather than just the character that you're playing as, and Luto did this phenomenally well. As mentioned, this reminded me an awful lot of Eternal Darkness and has been linked to PT at the same time. Both of these are games that I hold in very high regard with the fourth wall breaks in them. Luto even implemented some very similar mechanics in parts where the game takes over your mouse and then it opens up the menu screen and actually shuts down the game. At one point I was walking around and just walking endlessly, not knowing how to progress. It was driving me absolutely mad. I had no clue what I was supposed to be doing. And then I actually ended up having to look it up, and I found out that I had to shut down the game and reopen it. And then when I did, the menu had changed. It was all glitchy, and that actually led to me being able to progress from that point. I thought it was really, really cool. I really enjoyed Luto. I love a game that makes you really, really question yourself. The game basically gaslit me, and I was okay with that. Next up, though, most anticipated game. So, this is for the... What?
2 Silent Hills.
There are 2 Silent Hills coming out! So, most anticipated game. This is the upcoming big release game that I am most looking forward to. The nominees are Silent Hill 1 Remake, Silent Hill Townfall, Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly, the remake, Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival, and then Resident Evil Requiem.
So which Silent Hill is winning?
It's Silent Hill 1 Remake!
There it is.
Hey, this actually nearly didn't win. This nearly didn't win. No, it wasn't Townfall. It wasn't Townfall, and I've written up something to explain myself. This is genuinely a really, really difficult category for me. Townfall was a very strong contender, but given how little that we've actually seen of it or know about the story, I couldn't put that right at the top for me. That would have just been like pure blind Silent Hill fan excitement coming through there if I had made it win, but no. For me, it was actually really, really close between Silent Hill 1 Remake and Crimson Butterfly, as I know both have absolutely phenomenal stories, but Silent Hill just about pips it based on the fact that Bloober Team have already done the Silent Hill 2 Remake, and we know that they did really, really well with that. There's just a bit more room for them to improve on the original Silent Hill as well, with that being from an older hardware with more limitations. Next up is the best survival horror. So it goes without saying that survival horror is easily my favorite genre, and so we've played a lot of survival horror games throughout the year, and I'm thoroughly enjoying just how much of a renaissance that this genre is having at the moment. 2025 saw so many new games releasing that unapologetically own their influences from yesteryear, and not only trigger that nostalgia from the PlayStation Golden era, but also expand on the genre with a host of authentically haunting stories in ways that only true fans that grew up with these worlds could capture. So on top of the selections that you can see on screen, I also wanted to give some honorable mentions to other games that we played throughout the year. So these include others that were in the shortlist, which are Crow Country, Flesh Made Fear, Chronos: The New Dawn, and there's many, many others. The nominees are Late Homework, Tormented Souls 2, Hollow Body, Signalis, and Post Trauma, and the winner for Best Survival Horror Game is Tormented Souls 2. As much as it pains me that this is my first introduction to the Tormented Souls series, and well, what a game it was. The voice acting, absolutely incredible. Various mechanics, incredible. And though every single one of the games on this list has been very heavily compared to Silent Hill, this one just about unlocked a new level of nostalgia in me while still feeling completely unique in its own right. But yep, Tormented Souls 2, It really, especially playing the original Tormented Souls after this, it really just highlighted how much they had refined the game when the second one came along. And if you are wondering why there are a few notable games that were not up for Best Survival Horror Game, that is because I was saving them for my Game of the Year. So, as you can tell, virtually all of these are survival horror games, with the only exception being Devotion, which is more of a walking simulator. But the other four are all survival horror games, so I didn't want to double up and have them entered in both categories, because you just have, like, the same. My Game of the Year for 2025! Do you think you can guess what it is?
Oh?
Who's surprised? My Game of the Year for 2025 is not Silent Hill. It was very, very close between all of these nominees for me, but it was actually the hardest, picking between Heartworm and Fear the Spotlight. Fear the Spotlight was a game that I played at the very start of the year, and to this day is still one of the first ones that I recommend when anybody asks me for game recommendations. It has some fan service for Silent Hill fans like me, which of course worked well. It draws heavily on older inspirations, and it has a huge plot twist right when you think that the game is finally done. I won't spoil it for anybody that's not played it for themselves, because again, I would highly, highly recommend that you all go out and play it. But this game is absolutely phenomenal and made by a team of just 2 people. However, for me, Heartworm just pips it as the game of year, and that's mostly due to its timing. Heartworm came along at a time where I could heavily relate to the themes that it explored, and it's beautiful in its artwork, storytelling, symbolism, and the emotional journey that you go on. There are some very raw explorations of the emotions that you face while grieving, and it was translated honestly, but also very tastefully. The game is absolutely stunning, and it has many visual and accessibility customization options to tailor it exactly how you want it. So if you want it to have an older look, you can have that. If you want it to look newer, you can also have that as well. There's an arachnophobia mode. There's just all sorts that I really enjoyed. After this came out, I couldn't stop playing it for quite a bit, trying to get every single achievement and every single ending possible, and it even ended up sticking with me so much that I made it my first ever video essay. This game in particular felt more like it was conveying survival horror through art rather than trying to emulate something that we've already seen, and not in a way that feels pretentious or like it's trying too hard. That is why Heartworm is my Game of the Year for 2025. It was also only made by one guy. One guy.
Woo, that one guy.
That's all for my portion. Next up, we have Chat's Choice. So the next few categories were voted on entirely by the community, and some of them are just statistics. So they were taken from my Twitch recap, is basically what I'm trying to say there. So the first one is actually Chat's most used emotes. So, of course, we've got EarthToLydia. She's been a standard literally since me and Ollie met. Meow was actually the highest rated one, but as that is recently changed to Yap, I thought we'd include the Yap emote. Then we've got ETL Dink Donk, which a classic. And then we've got the smile, the sarcastic smile. And finally, ETL Clap, which was definitely taken before the stream. Apparently, you guys just enjoy clapping. Most used emote of the year was ETL Dink Donk, of course. Next up, we have the best clip.
What?
So, this is the best music for this right now. Yep. First up, well, I'm going to go through all of these, but the nominations are Lydia is Retiring, Robin Drooling, Shark Dentist, and is that it? All right, let's go through the nominees. This is Lydia is Retiring. Type in YouTuber.
Do you really think you're cut out for that?
I remember.
Grown up.
Oh, goddamn. I'm just gonna. There we go. Next up is Robin Drooling. She does keep on, like, sinking further and further down. Oh. Don't you? The drool's back as well. Oh my god, did you see that? And next we have which you will hear in just a second. Let me turn the volume up for this one. Run, 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 run. Oh my god.
I've got to get home.
They made the most stupid sounds. Closely followed by Shark dentist. Oh. Oh! Fuck off! Fuck all the way off! Nah! Nah, who put that in this game? I ain't playing Shark Dentist, man. What the fuck? Give me some fucking warning. No, please no. Oh, don't tell me. No! I fucking hate sharks. I should pry them out. No, I don't think you should. I don't think you should. I just need to go back out.
What, is that it? That all I got from
there's
it?
now also no, you just need to go back out.
Ah! You're a dickhead. You're a dickhead.
And the winner of chat's favourite emote is that it? There you go, Ollie, well done. Clap, ETL claps in the chat for Ollie. He's won. Well done. You've won an award. What would you like to say?
I would just like speech. I would just like to say, fuck you.
I knew that was coming. Anyway, next category that chat voted on was chat's category of the year. So these were my top 5 categories according to Twitch. The first category was Silent Hill F was my top one. Then we had Chronos The New Dawn. For some reason, I was in Dead by Daylight. Hence why I've used that picture, because I probably streamed it for like 5 minutes. And then we have Silent Hill Downpour and Who's at the Door. And chat's category of the year, Rose, voted on entirely by chat in Discord, was Silent Hill F. Thank you very much. Clearly, I harbour people of taste in this community. Okay, next up. Chat's favourite ongoing series.
Why have you used the same picture?
Why wouldn't I?
Why? You could have used a nice picture of us two. Why have you used that?
Why not? The nominees for, well, the different variants that you could vote on was the current ongoing series of Silent Hill 2 with Ollie, the current ongoing series of playing every single Fatal Frame, then all the different Anomaly games that we've been playing, and going through every single Chiller's arc. And the winner of chat's favourite ongoing series is Silent Hill 2 with Ollie. Another speech?
Well, that's all. It's all. We've got. I realised we need to do this again.
Okay. I'm enjoying your reactions.
I'm not.
Okay. Cool. Good comms. Good comms. Next up, we have chat's most anticipated game. So of all of the big AAA upcoming horror games, yes, exactly, but chat get to pick on it this time. I've had my say.
Right.
Quite an overwhelming landslide of a victory here as well. It was Resident Evil Requiem.
I had a feeling it would be.
Yep. Congrats to Resident Evil. It is only a month away, so I completely understand that there is an awful lot of excitement towards this. All right. That is all for the chat's categories. But I do have some honorary mentions that I would like to give out. So some notable mentions for some notable people that have helped me in all kinds of ways throughout the year. Of course, familiar faces. So this is, again, from my Twitch recap, so if anybody's got an issue with it, then you can take it up with Twitch. And of course, we've got to mention the likes of Raven, Jackie, Owl, James as well. There's a whole bunch of people that have been very regular faces throughout the year. Then we've got our favourite drooler, Robin. Deserves her flowers for the amount that she's drooled on my lap this year. The Upside Out, basically...
It says turn.
And again, you would be lethal if you could read. Hold it! What are you doing? What are you tapping?
Oh! No!
I wanted to give a special mention to Ollie for joining me at various points in the last couple of months. Made his stream debut this year.
The good thing I did dress up and use that.
I would also like to say a big thank you to some people.
I don't know what it is. Something about Lovro's accent is like perfect for the character model.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to the mod team. Best group of mods possible. Next up, I want to give a special thanks to Denver and Lovro for helping me at various points throughout the year. Thank you both. You've helped me on various projects. Lovro has been so helpful with so many different things, like making thumbnails for me, helping me make graphics for all kinds of stuff. The birthday poster just did absolutely an incredible job. And then obviously Denver has done such an amazing job on some videos for me throughout the year when I really needed the help. So yeah, thank you as well, Denver. And then best chat, you guys. Thank you very much. I'm gonna get real soppy for a second here. 2025 is absolutely amazing. I took the plunge into variety, which is something that if anybody else streams, you know how absolutely terrifying that is. But you've all supported me so much, and without that, I really don't know if I'd still be streaming now. So a big thank you to all of you, and I really cannot wait to see what 2026 has to hold as well. So yeah. That's about it for the award show. That's about it.